Okay, athletes, so I'm going to tell you a throwback story about the time that I was playing rugby, and it was my rookie year, and actually the only year that I did play, and I loved it. I will say that. But I was playing wing, which is like receiver in football, and so they always kept me on the sideline closest to our team, so I could kind of get coached up as I played. I was fit enough, athletic enough to actually, play B-side and A-side games. So they would just coach me up as I went along, come up, go back, da da da, this and that. So at one point, towards the end of a half, I believe, the other team kicks the ball, trying to advance it, and me and this other guy from the other team, we go sprinting, for the ball, and it probably goes a good 30 or 40 yards. It bounces into the end zone, and I get to it first, and my teammates are like, "Don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it," and I touched it, and I picked it up, and all I can remember is a teammate of mine, Adam, as I start jogging out, he's like, "You better score now." And I'm thinking, he's got to be kidding, because everybody's like right there. Sure enough, there was this little seam, and I found it, and I started creasing through it, and I ran like through the middle of everyone. It was strange. It was just like this crease, and part of the weird part, I think, is the ball was kicked so far, and we were ended towards the end of the half, or maybe even towards the end of the match, that people were kind of like in a half jog, and I think a lot of people who, like, their minds, rugby minds, were like, he's not going to take this out. But I did, because I didn't know any better. I picked it up, I touched it. So had I been tackled in that end zone, I'm sure it would have been points for the other team. I'm still kind of shaky on all of that, but I say all that to say I ended up with a 105-yard try, because I did score. I ran in and out and everything. And the funny part is that my daughter, who was probably 11 or 12 at the time, she would go and film the games. And never did, like, there were always things like that would just kind of like get missed. She was 11, she'd be watching the game or kind of playing around, and so really not, always watching. Okay, no problem. She caught all of it. She caught all of this play. So you can see from the start where the guy kicks the ball and we chase it down. Now it's hard to see because it wasn't a good camera, and it was just from the sideline, sort of thing. But you see me kind of weaving through and then kind of break through, and there's guys chasing me and all sorts of stuff. It was just one of those moments. And actually, that was the end of the season, the end of, I want to say, a half. It may have been the end of the match. I can't remember. But it was actually the last play that I was involved in with rugby. After that, my youngest was born the next season, so I didn't play, and here we are some time later. So, yeah, it was just funny to think back on, because they're like, "You better score," and I was exhausted, and I didn't think much of it. But yeah, so that's my story. Throwback to 2012 maybe, and if I can find it, I'll definitely add the actual play to this video, and you can hear one of my teammates on the sideline, China. He's like he saw it. I think he saw it developing, because then he starts saying, "100-meter spider, 100 meters, go spider, go!" And then my daughter, she starts screaming as she's filming. Like, it was the best job that she had done filming. It was amazing. She caught all of that stuff from end zone to end zone, and then yeah, I was screaming and everything else. So yeah, it was a cool story. That's my throwback, my sports throwback, and hopefully you guys have a fantastic day, are in a good place, mind, body, and soul. And that's about it. HWPO, hard work pays off, Impact Athletics Association.